Hello and Assalamualaikum to Dr. Raihan and my fellow friends. Today, my group, which is Group 1, want to present about Piaget's stages of cognitive development. Here are my group members. First, Nur Ainul Shahiera binti Dolmali. Second, Saiyidah Syahirah binti Shamsudin. Third, Nurul Najikhah binti Rozali. And lastly, Vernanda Widya Pangestika. Next, for introduction, Piaget's stages of cognitive development are suggested by Jean Piaget, who was a Swiss psychologist that said children's intelligence undergoes changes as they grow up. Child's thinking is qualitatively different each stages, as it involves a different type of intelligence. In addition to acquiring knowledge, children's cognitive development also involves the creation or growth of a mental model of their environment. So, Piaget's stages of cognitive development have 4 stages. First stage is sensory-motor stage, ages 0 until 2 years old, which is babies. Second stage is pre-operational stage, which is kids who are ages 2 until 7 years old. Third stage is concrete operation stage, which is ages 6 or 7 until 11 years old. And lastly, stage 4, which is formal operation stage, which is start from 12 years old until adulthood. These are properties of Piaget stage, which is universal and invariant. For universal, easy applied to everyone, and invariant is unchanging.
Stage 1, the sensory-motor stage, age birth to 2 years old. In this sensory-motor stage, a key milestone is the development of working memory, or in Piaget terms, our realization of object permanence. First, we start with simple reflexes, and soon after we develop our first habits. From 4 months old, we become aware of things beyond our own body, and then as we get older, we learn to do things intentionally. We start becoming curious about everything. To explore more, we move and learn by imitation. This increased physical mobility consequently leads to increased cognitive development. But we remain egocentric, meaning we can perceive the world only from our own point of view. As we know in the sensory-motor stage, we develop through experiences and movement of our 5 senses, dominated by motor and sensory activities. Our brain wants to hear, touch, smell, see, and taste as much as possible. We can watch through the video to understand more about this stage.
Macam ni. Alah, biasa dia ni comel-comel. Baba blank sheep, have you any wool? Gila. Bah.
Next is pre-operational stage. This is 2 years to 6 or 7 years, and at this stage, language is acquisition and symbolic thought and language. Also, thinking is still limited, which is appearance dominates perceptions and understanding. Lastly, egocentrism or centration and animism. This situation can be looked by this video.
Ada makan apa tu? Rambutan.
As for stage 3, which is concrete operations, started from age 7 or 8 until 11 years old. At this concrete operation stage, the child become more stable, think rationally, and use logical reasoning rather than their instinct thought. So, we can see through this video.
namanya apa? Ya. Nilai tempat ni. Ni yang batang ni.
Next is formal operations period, which is the last stage of cognitive development according to Piaget'S theory. It begins around ages 12 years old and continues throughout adulthood. At this stage, Piaget believed that kids will be able to do abstract thought, and some even achieve hypothetical reasoning in secondary school. Also, they will be able to do propositional thinking, which means youths can determine whether a statement is logical based on the wording of the statement, rather than having to observe or recreate the actual scenario to determine if it's logical. To make you guys understand better about the propositional thinking, let's see this video.
So guys, kita dah finally get binti. Apa? Hampir kita duduk dan didenda guys.
Finally, we have reached to conclusion. The conclusion are, firstly, according to Piaget, the combination of inherited traits and environmental circumstances leads to intellectual development. Second, knowledge is created and rebuilt as the child grows and interacts with his environment on a daily basis. And lastly, his hypothesis of intellectual growth has a strong biological scientific foundation. And that's all from our group. Thank you to Dr. Raihan and my fellow friends for listening until the end.